in Pacifica to see all the people volunteer, doing a lot of habitat restoration this year.
What are you getting out of here mainly?
Mostly ox tongue and wild radish in this area. We're also picking up wild mustard and fennel, mostly those.
What's the hardest one to get up?
The big ones. Wild radish goes pretty deep, and when they're big, you can get a foot long root, and they're pretty hard to get out. We only have ice plant at the north end of the beach now because we got it out of the rest of the beach over the years. We're focusing more on the weeds now. The ice plant in this area, we're not focusing on it so much at this time because we're trying to get the weeds out of the areas that we've already taken the ice plant out of. Well, I got a ton of people out here today. I think I had 5 last year. I think I have 30 this year. It's awesome.
When we first started here, they used to have the unofficial fires and all that kind of stuff. We used to do at least 30 bags of trash on a pickup. And that was like probably not including all the ashes and the nails and things like that. Now, on a normal cleanup, we do maybe 2 or 3. So that's due to I think the culture has really changed. Lynn's been a big part of that. The culture has really changed where people pick up everything. The school kids are getting assemblies now, they understand it. So we're stopping the trash from coming this way. We still get some that comes in here on the tide line and we pick that up, but you know.
Today we have probably 70 cleanups going on and habitat restoration and gardening.
Hi, I'm Jim Poquette, and I'm sort of a quasi-member of the Pacifica Beach Coalition, also a Mason, and with the Bay Area Mentors. Been cleaning these beaches since, 2005 when it started. And this beach in particular holds a lot of meaning to me because I grew up here. Years ago, this was a good 50 to 75 yards longer, and you can see the beautiful backdrop that's here. Great place to grow up as a kid, but then I've watched it change over time. People leaving behind things like we've picked up bottles of urine, we've picked up cigarette butts, we've picked up clothes. People just don't seem to care about something as beautiful and important to all of us, not just us, but the animals, as the Pacific Ocean that you hear in the background. Along with that, another big plus is we're bringing kids with us. We're bringing the new generation. We've got people from the Job's Daughters. It's fun to tell kids about what was here and what they're working for. The idea being is these kids are going to go forward and teach their kids. And maybe over time, we won't be out here cleaning the beach. I think that's the whole purpose of the Beach Coalition. We don't want to be in existence anymore, not doing this. We'd rather be improving things, not just maintaining the status quo of what it should be. And that's the reason we're here.
We're a big Genentech group, and we just had a huge pile of weeds taken out from the top of the switchback, otherwise known as weeding.
Yeah, severe weeding.
We called it habitat restoration, but it's otherwise known as weeding. Hard work. We do it for Earth Day and for Coastal Cleanup Day. We usually come to Pacifica. We love Pacifica Beach Coalition.
How you doing? I'm Dave Martinez. In the Pacifica Beach Coalition. I've adopted Roberts Road about 5 years ago, and I'm happy to do it again this year. I'm also part of the Beautification Advisory Committee here in Pacifica that helps beautify the city. So my heart's here in this town to make it a beautiful town because this is where I live. There only being like, I think 3 guys on the park department. They don't have enough time to be able to do all this cleanup. So the city is very lucky that they have the Beach Coalition. All these people that have moved to this town, I mean, I'm a local. I'd love to get more of my friends here to clean up, but these people moved to this town, they joined the Beach Coalition, and they give back to this town by cleaning up because they love this town. That's why they came here in the first place. So the beauty of it, I mean, with trash and the beauty, it doesn't match. So we got to clean up this stuff. You know, and then it's great that the Beach Coalition can do this twice a year.
I do enjoy volunteering my time just for Mother Earth. and I hope other people see it the same way I do. But I know we're in a mixed up world, and we just have to accept things in life that come through. And for those who understand, that's all I care about.
Then you got the lunchtime crew that contributes to the Chinese food, the McDonald's.
You already got the 4 pounds, right? My name is Julie Walters. I'm a volunteer for the Pacifica Beach Coalition. I'm here at Mussel Rock, and I live close by. You know, it actually looks a little bit better this year, which is really encouraging. Usually we find a lot of cigarette butts. We're still seeing that as our #1 trash item, but it's really encouraging that we're seeing less trash. So thank you, everybody. Well, right now I ran the magnet and I found a lot of nails, screws in the roadway, and that's kind of saving people from flat tires in their cars. A lot of cigarettes, like I mentioned, single-use plastic containers, drinking, lots of beer bottles and things like that. We got a lot of activity on the weekend with kids coming down and drinking here and doing things like that. So a lot of alcohol containers, definitely. And then just blown trash. We have a lot of wind here, so a lot of things that fly from your trash can end up here, and we try and catch them before they go down into the ocean.
There must be a free day here at the transfer center because bring your garbage down. It's free
and everything at the Goodwill, right? Bring your stuff to the Goodwill. We don't want to go into the dump.
That's right.
Kind of following along with the Earth Day theme, and that we are having a flea market here to help out our 5th grade outdoor kids. This is all about recycling. You know, folks have cleaned out their homes, their garages, and donated to us or come and sold for themselves. And so therefore, recycling, that's what it's all about today. And they're all about reusing things, you know, rather than throwing them in the dump or in your garbage. People will use them. We have had a very successful day, and we plan to do it again next year.
For the 3rd year in a row, Daly City has partnered with Allied Waste, Goodwill, and Shred It. And so what this does is it gives residents in Daly City an opportunity to recycle various products. I just saw a huge washing machine, couches. If you could see right over here, just above my shoulder, there's about 20 to 25 cars.
How much you guys cleaned up today?
Oh, gee, I don't know, a lot. We had a lot of
cigarette
people.
butts?
Yeah, those, Yeah, there's a lot of volunteers been coming out for a long time. And I remember coming out here maybe 10, 12 years ago, before anybody else came out. It was no signs, you know, just my wife and myself.
The city of Pacifica owns these now. It's not Caltron. They've kind of adopted them, so we're trying to get people to adopt them and plant them. So if we make it look inviting now, it's clean around and it has appeal, and then people might want to come up with the money to adopt them. So I'm with the Beautification Advisory Committee, and that's one of our projects. Earth Day is 9 to 11. I hate to tell them it's time up.
It's kind of a community effort. I wish we did it more often than once a year.
I was going to have Earth Day #2. That'll really, I never saw women so happy. Did you see the pile of weeds that was there?
I'm Ann Mason, and I'm on the board of Pacifica Gardens. We're a small nonprofit, and we've been here 8 years. And as you can see, the garden is a beautiful growing environment. Today on Earth Day, we have junior chefs. A cooking group has come to help us as their work site for the day.
So I'm Brian Allen. I'm the owner of Junior Chef Stars. We're a cooking school for kids. Today, I guess we're helping out at the Pacifica Gardens. We just, as a group, me and my staff, we wanted to volunteer and be part of it, so we spoke with Anne, and so we ended up kind of volunteering here because we thought this would be a good fit since it has to do with food and kind of a farm-to-table situation.
One of the projects we're doing today is a sheet mulching project where we lay cardboard, we laid the cardboard down, we put a big pile of chips that really retains the moisture in the soil, and I'd recommend that to anybody.
I'm Loretta O'Brien, I'm the garden manager. The garden is about 30,000 square feet, and we have roughly 40 beds here. Plant and grow, we share the produce with the volunteers and the Pacifica Resource Center. The other thing that we do is education field trips for the kids in the school district. The kids will come and they'll do something in the garden, and then we talk to them about conservation, right? Specifically now, we're going to be talking about the drought, all right, and water conservation. And we'll also talk to them a little bit about pollination, and because it's Earth Day and the honoree this year is the bee, right? Without the bees and without proper pollination of so many of our crops, right, we won't have food. So with colony collapse and the reduction of the bee population, now we have at risk our food source.
Without bees, we would not have this garden. We have an orchard of plums and apples and pears. We would have no plums, apples, or pears without the bees to pollinate. We have many vegetables and fruits that without the bees, they wouldn't be here. And we plant, as a matter of fact, over there, we're planting sunflowers right now. Sunflowers are one of the bees' favorite foods. Sunflowers, borage, and poppies, and you'll find that in abound here.
We're growing some fresh blueberries here too. They're gonna be really amazing. My name is Pagan Phelan, and I am a volunteer here at the Pacifica Community Garden. The purpose of the garden is to develop a community bond, and we grow lots of vegetables and fruits and things. I like bees because they just pollinate everything, and the bees, they're just cute in general, they're little fuzzy things, and if you just don't bother them, they're not gonna do anything, and they're really great for the whole environment.
Right, without the bees and without proper pollination of so many of our crops, right, we won't have food. It's important for us to do what we can, in our individual gardens and our individual spaces to not only attract, and maintain regular honeybee populations, but then also to attract native bees. I personally like the native bee idea because it's sort of a build it and they will come kind of a thing. Something that's a native plant, a local native plant, then you'll attract the pollinators that will do well with those plants.
Well, this year the bees are in desperate need of our help, and so we thought this is a good time to raise awareness. It also brings us from litter to chemicals, and the toxic chemicals that we put out into the environment affect the bees, and also how important the bees are as pollinators for our food. 1 in 3 bites that we eat comes from bees. So without them, the pollen doesn't go to fertilize to be able to create apples and stuff, and so it's really important for the pollination of our plants.
Bees are some of the hardest working little creatures on this earth that help feed us. The farmer works the fields, but the bees work the flowers and they pollinate so that we can have fruit on our plants. Without bees, we're not going to give as much fruit and vegetables as we do. That's why there's beekeepers that bring out their bees every year for the farmers. They're the hardest workers, along with the farm workers. The neonicotinoids, I believe, they're a systemic insecticide, and when they spray it onto the plant, it gets into the plant. So now what happens is the bees come and pollinate, and they get some of that pesticide with it. They bring it back to their nest, and then they kill them, and it becomes it's not helping the bees any, it's killing them. So yeah, you need to watch out where you buy your plants from. Don't buy plants that are treated with these insecticides.
Well, there are a number of threats to bees. So basically they boil down to 3 different things. Bees are experiencing a large number of introduced parasites, predators, pathogens that are causing them problems, including things like the varroa mite and creatures of that sort. They also are being exposed to pesticides. Pesticides kill insects, insects are bees, bees are highly susceptible to pesticides. And another important thing is that their habitats are being changed. In many areas there aren't as many flowers as there used to be. So they can be limited by the lack of nectar and pollen that they need in order to be able to survive. Without bees, we'd have a quite different diet. Maybe a third of our diet would have to be different because bees aren't out there pollinating them. So even though most people may take them for granted, they're out there working for us all the time. They're sort of mini heroes that work for pollen and nectar. But I think one of the other things that's important for people to know is that there are lots of different kinds of bees. Most people think of honeybees, and honeybees are really important for pollinating many of our agricultural crops and for giving us honey. But there are something like 1,600 native species of bees in California. Right here in Pacifica, probably 100 species of native bees that are all out there mostly pollinating a variety of different kinds of flowers, including some of our backyard fruits and vegetables and things like that. So it's a whole complex of things out there pollinating and helping create the natural world and also our agricultural system as well.
Well, one thing people can do is remember that bees aren't all that bad, you know, and be more open to the idea of urban beekeeping and beekeeping in your own backyard to help support the bee population and help pollination in your area. Planting bee-friendly plants in your garden is very helpful too. It supports pollination and bees will be around and be more likely to spread that pollen, you know. If you're unable to have an actual hive at your house, you can always just be planting, you know, bee-friendly plants. Like they really love, you know, purple. They tend to really love purple flowers, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So when you see a bee on a flower, what's happening is the bee is ingesting the nectar from the flower to bring back to the hive to create into honey. And the bee is actually pollinating without even realizing it. By getting in to the flower, it gets you know, the pollen on its legs and on its body. And then when it goes to the next flower, that's when the pollination occurs, and it's spreading around the pollen to different flowers and creating more seeds and more flowers. So the bee comes back and it gets stored into these frames down here where they've built their honeycombs. And slowly they'll fill up each one, and as they get filled up, then we would come and take them out and extract the honey from them. It's storing food basically for the hive so that there's things for the whole hive and especially the queen to eat. So she can keep producing you know, more bees and keep the hive going strong and thriving.
Bees pollinate flowers so we can have a lot of different foods, and also they make honey for us to eat.
The one thing that we've been working on that's kind of an interesting new thing for honeybees is that I discovered a new honeybee parasite back a few years ago on the San Francisco State campus. And this is a small fly that's smaller than a fruit fly, so it's just a little gnat-sized fly. It's a native fly that normally parasitizes bumblebees, but it's figured out the European honeybee that was brought to us by European colonists. And now we're finding it in a large percentage of the honeybee hives in the San Francisco Bay Area. An interesting thing about it is these bees that are parasitized have strange behavior. And they fly out of their hives at night, which honeybees shouldn't do. They should be huddling together and staying warm at night. And they get attracted to nearby lights. And we've come to calling them zombies or zombie bees because they have this zombie-like behavior, disoriented, flying out, finding lights and then dying under that light. So sometimes we call it the flight of the living dead, or something like that to remind us of that old 1960s zombie movie.
I am really excited because my first year doing this, we picked 750 pounds of trash, and this year, 75! Yay! And 25 pounds of recycling, so we've really made a difference here in Pacifica. Oh, we just weighed. Come on, guys! We'll wait! students from Terra Nova were here again, and they get excited about cleaning the creek. And we had 21 students from Terra Nova. So that was really nice to see.
Oh, it's fine.
I don't know.
We kind of got lost in the creek. We found all this stuff.
And this year, the largest piece of item we found was a bicycle tire, so that was really a nice change.
We did a beach.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I'm Jack Solano from Terra Nova High School, and I'm doing this for my biology class. Found a tire, and I was trying to clean up the earth.
I think we're becoming more aware of our environment, knowing that we're here as a legacy to have a clean environment for our kids and their kids.
Oh, we found a tire and a crate, and there was a whole bunch of other heavier stuff that we couldn't really carry. Like we found like 5 pairs of jeans, right, Caitlin?
Oh yeah, 5 pairs of jeans, 3 t-shirts, and a pair of boots.
Yeah, a lot of boots, a whole bunch of stuff. So it was fun.
I'm Caitlin Brandt. I go to Terra Nova High School, and I'm cleaning up the creek for my biology class.
The weirdest item.
I think that it's great that everybody comes out and helps out for it, and that everybody tries to get to participate to help keep their community clean.
Every year we come out and help out, just pick up stuff. So usually we're at the beach, but this year we did the creek.
I like to go to the beach a lot, and it just helps that it's really clean all the time, because whoever I go with, we always clean up after we're there. So it helps when other people clean up what other people do, because other people don't like to clean up after themselves.
Thanks for your help. You were Earth heroes. There it is. A lot of pounds, like 500.
Few hundred.
A few hundred. Lots of 50s and 40-pound bags of stuff.
Have a good day.
Six, man. Total 60. Oh, we're done. We've got pretty much. Now we're getting more of this. We're finally down to the final stretch. Yeah. See how easy we make it? Everything's in garbage cans and recycling. I won't have anything blown out on the road. And I didn't have to use any of those plastic bags. Zero waste, zero cleanup. I haven't totaled it yet, but concrete's probably about 1,600 pounds. What do you think that carpet is?
Says at least 100 pounds wet. All that? At least 100. I'll pick up cones.
All right. Now he has some green waste to go pick up on top of the hill. There's a pile over here that's in a burlap, or it's in a tarp. Really? And then there's rug padding down here. This is the way we do burlap style. Yeah, this burlapper. Do all 4 corners. Yeah. Just suck her up. Got it. Let's see you one more. Hey, thanks for the help, Ed.
Hey, trust me, what he's doing is plenty of help.
You're helping us.
This is the knowledge coming here.
No, you make sure of that. Yep.
We're IBL Middle School, right?
Yes.
And we do the streets, the non-glamorous beach cleanup.
Yeah.
That's right. You have your gloves? Cool.
Those are
I'll
yours,
get those.
actually.
I'll get those to the Beach Coalition.
We
All right.
got here a little late.
That's all right. That's all right. They packed up and went. Are you guys going to go down to the celebration and all that?
What? What celebration?
So they down at Lindemar, they have all these booths and food and music and stuff like that. It's the Earth Day celebration. There's a whole bunch of events going on.
Hey guys, how are you? What a wonderful Earth Week it is. After we already taught assemblies to about 4,000 students, and we have more assemblies next week. So we'll teach about 5,000 kids about the bees. And those 5,000 kids will teach their family about the bees. And it's very, very exciting because those kids got really excited and learned about the native bees, the coastal bees that we have, and the honeybee, and how important they are to our environment and how much they need our help. So we're pretty excited about that, and I want to thank everybody who came out to help for Earth Day. What a beautiful turnout. What a wonderful eco-fest we have. It was so lovely to see Jackie Spear.
So today, as we celebrate all the Earth heroes, we're particularly celebrating the bees. And we've got many proprietors of bees around with us. I want you to know that I'm a member of the Pollinator Caucus in Congress. Go bees and hummingbirds. The bad news is that 40 pollinators, including bees and hummingbirds and others, have been listed on the endangered species list. That should be a huge wake-up call to all of us. Bees pollinate a third of our food, so think about it. Every third bite of your food is there thanks to a bee who has pollinated it. So we have to recognize that the Endangered Species Act cannot be weakened, it has to be strengthened so that pollinators and bees can continue to help us provide the food that we need. I'm honored to be with all of you today. I'm particularly honored to be with Lynn Adams, who has done an extraordinary job each and every year promoting this. And Greg, thank you again for your great leadership as well. It's a thrill to be with you, and thank you again for the volunteer efforts that you've put forth to clean up our beaches.
Very nice. All right.
You know, Earth Day in Pacifica is every day, and this community has the guts and the gumption to provide for the coast in ways that many other areas don't. So cleaning up the beaches is just part of this committed community, and I'm just thrilled to be here every year.